live.
Yeah.
Hooray. Uh, Welcome to Game Master Monday, live on the internet for your entertainment pleasure. I am not your game master today, but I am Grant, your usual game master for Game Master Monday. And today we are playing a little game called 16 Mice Make Soup by Rosie Lav. And our very own Jenny's going to be running it. How about that?
Hi, guys.
Big internet round of applause for Jenny, everybody, for coming out of her hole. But well done. I love the golf claps. Thank you,
There,
everyone present.
Grant lets me kind of
Today,
out of my hovel once every century to do a thing, so this is my thing to do today.
once every century. Hey, why don't we introduce you to our players here today, starting from the top left. Casey.
Why, hello. My name is Casey Jones. I'm a voice actor and author, and I'll be playing Granny Badano, a homestyle mouse chef.
The voice snuck up on me. In the bottom left corner, we've got Josh.
Hi, I'm Josh Burgess. I am from Die Inside Gaming, and we have the upcoming podcast What's in the Rift releasing in October. I will be playing Norbert, le Franc Chef, very gastronomique. Pleasure to be here.
Oh no, another voice that snuck up on me. In the bottom right, we've got Melody.
Hi, I'm Melody. First time doing this ever. So cool. I'm not with anything. So that's just me. I am playing Bree Squeaks. She is also a homemade chef, and she has 26 siblings that she cooks for.
We'll adopt her into the Game Master Monday pantheon. You're with our show now, Melody. I am playing a mouse today named Amadeus Musk, who is a gourmet chef who has traveled around the world in some of the finest restaurants that Earth has to offer. And I got a big old number, and whatever the hell that means is what Jenny's going to explain for you right now, because I am handing over the stream to her. Jenny, what in the heck is 16 Mice Make Soup?
I'm glad you asked, Grant. Well, 16 Mice Make Soup, according to Rosie Love, is a slice of a hack of lasers and feelings, can serve up to 2 to 16 players, and has a cook time of about 2 hours. Basically, 16 Mice Make Soup, you have up to 2 to 16 players who each pick a number, and that number basically governs how you roll. For homemade actions, you want to roll over your number. For gourmet actions, you want to roll under your number. If you roll exactly your chosen number, you get to invoke the knowledge of Chef Maisumoto, and when you do that, you may have some special secret things that happen during the game, which we'll get into a little bit later. Basically, 16 Mice Make Soup works like any Food Network show you've ever seen ever. Bunch of chefs get together to make a 3-course meal, which is presented for judgment at the seat of our judges, who I will be playing today. But instead of competing against each other, we are all going to be working together to create a cohesive and tasty 3-course meal. So, as is the norm in these sorts of games, I have to ask, are you all excited?
Oh my
Yeah!
Yes.
Yeah, yes, chef was the right answer. Thank you, Melody. That was the right joke. Thank you.
Nobody gets 1 point for you saying yes, chef.
We have points?
Yes, actually,
Like
there
individually?
are points. Well, we'll be going ahead and introducing the rules in character here. So, you would be finding yourself in what appears to be kind of a break room. You would all be sitting around a teeny tiny thimble, which is serving for you guys as a table for you to be, sitting around, talking, having like refreshments while you wait for the actual show to go on. There's a tiny little TV in the one corner so you can sort of see when the host is about to, present and have you guys go on stage. Right now it's at the middle of a commercial break, so you guys can just kind of talk among yourselves for a bit.
Did we see a previous team do anything cool or not?
You would have seen the previous episode, like a rerun had been on right before this, but right now it's a commercial break. They didn't do so well. They only got 14 points. And the goal of the game is to reach 15 points as a team to win.
I see. Thank you. Thank you for that important background.
Mm-hmm.
Amadeus is sitting uncomfortably straight. Not a single bone in his spine is curved or bent in any capacity. Just a perfect 90-degree angle of him sitting. And he just seems to be glaring at the TV screen, analyzing everything the previous team did, and he's overseeing his current team and is going, "What experience do you all have in the kitchen?"
I suppose that I can answer that question. I have cooked on the ship that I have just recently departed from for the past 8 months, which is a full third of my life.
He's a mouse.
Yep.
I love it.
What kind of ship?
I am not entirely certain what the name of the ship is, or indeed which its function was, but I do know that I was able to find food and cook it and do it masterfully. Generally, though, I was the only one available to eat it. Not too many takers. Otherwise,
Concerning. Slightly concerning. What about the rest of you?
Oh my, well, I've spent plenty of time in the kitchen, young man and young ladies. Oh my eyesight isn't quite as good as it used to be. Granny Padano is crocheting with lint and 2 bent bits of staple as they are just soaking in the ambiance of all of these programs. And like, I've never been actually on the television screen before. We used to have a little condo in a hollowed out Vista View, but that was back when my Charlie was still with us, bless him. Blink, blink.
Somehow more concerning, given the level of experience. I see he turns to Bree and goes, "Please tell me you've been in an actual kitchen."
A barn?
Oh God.
I've cooked for a lot of families. Well, mouse families. I've cooked for, well, all of my siblings, and then all of the family's siblings. There's 4 of the families in the barn. I've never been in a house. I don't like humans.
Humans
don't-
are overrated, my child.
They are. So yes, I've
They are
been in a
filthy
kitchen.
creatures.
Just disgusting.
All right, so it sounds like we have a ship mouse, a barn mouse, and a general cooking mouse.
I'm
So I'll be
sorry.
blunt.
Did you call me a shit mouse? I am a perfectly fine
With
mouse.
a P, although I'm sure on your ship you also dealt with shit.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry,
We
who
were on a
exactly
cooking
appointed you the
show.
head honcho? Did you walk in here with the tallest hat or something?
You look at him and he's absolutely wearing the tallest hat, and he stands up with like a really pompous glow about him, and he goes, "I like to think God himself or herself or themself, what have you, appointed me the world's most talented chef." And I don't say that out of arrogance. I say that out of experience. I've been in every kitchen known to man, from the lowliest to the highest. I've sat on the shoulders of some of the greatest chefs in the world. I had a brief stint working under a hat. So when I tell you I have the experience necessary to lead us to victory, you believe me. I am the gourmetest that gourmet gets.
As you are boasting about how good of a gourmet chef you are, one of the tech mice comes in. It's a little a little white mouse with red eyes with the little headphones on, and starts kind of ushering you up to the front room because you were about to go live on Cheese Network's greatest show, Mouse Chef.
He's network.
My friend and I have watched this show for so many seasons, rest his soul, until he passed away.
I don't own a television.
Then how did you know? Anyway.
God called me.
God handed you the fucking letter saying, "Hey, do you want to be on a TV show?" Oh, my lord. Okay, so each of you go through kind of a long hallway. I suppose for mice, for humans, it would be about the size of a single shoe. And you get to the front stage. And standing in front of you are two mice. One with dark brown fur, kind of patchy hair, looks like he's starting to go a little bit gray. And a more clean-cut, well-presented, kind of like palish tan mouse. The shorter of the two mice is the paler fellow. He's holding a frying pan and a spatula, kind of like in a crossed arm situation here.
Mm-hmm.
And the host introduces you all and says, "Welcome to Mouse Chef, the most popular cooking show on Cheese Network. Using the bespoke special ingredients of each chef, you must all work together to create a cohesive and tasty 3-course meal, at least one of which must be soup. I am your host, Almond Brown Mouse."
I can see it. Come on.
Move on, brown mouse.
Before us today,
Leaving.
we have 4 experienced chefs in their fields, both homemade and gourmet mouse chefs. Starting from our left, can I have you introduce yourself, there, ma'am? And he points to the grandma.
Oh, why, hello. Hello, listeners at home. My name is Granny Padano. I'm from Westminster, Maryland, and I'm just so excited to bring our special ingredients to you all today. Do we tell them what the ingredient is now, or do we wait for that?
Not yet. We'll be getting into the secret ingredients momentarily. And then he points over to Grant. I am totally forgetting your character's name. I fucking blanked. I'm so sorry.
Amadeus Musk.
To Amadeus, he points to you.
Greetings, I am Amadeus Musk, hailing from Maustria. I am here to cook 3 delicious meals and secure victory.
I thought it was a team effort.
Yes. I am here to bring these 3 chefs along with me to victory.
Oh my god. He just kind of nods and looks over at Norbert and asks you to introduce yourself.
Yes, my name is Norbert, as mentioned. I am from Rochefort, France. I have come to win and make friends, preferably. But winning is the main objective. Oh, excuse me. Winning is the main objective.
All right, and our
Oh,
last
all
chef,
right.
and he kind of gestures over to you, Bree.
I'm Bree Squeaks, and I'm from the barn. I'm just happy to be here.
All right, so our chefs are all prepped and ready with their secret ingredients. As you all know, viewers at home, each of our mouse chefs have prepared a special ingredient. It is well known that all mouse chefs are proficient in exactly one ingredient, as they spend years cultivating their skill with said secret ingredient. They have all picked their ingredient and have brought it with them today. And they'll be going ahead and presenting their secret ingredient now. So he starts with Granny.
Why, hello. I have prepared my special andouille sausage, which is just so savory and delicious, and it goes with absolutely everything. Why, I made it into my wonderful cheddar sausage popovers that my first husband Charles choked on, and then it was just absolutely scrumptious in the zuppa toscana that's so savory with the potatoes and the bacon lard. My second husband Derek drowned face down in a bowl of that, while my third husband, Well, he had a sweet tooth, so we made sure to mix the andouille sausage because he needed his protein. He had to mix it into the bread pudding that he choked on.
Oh my
Gonna throw up.
god! As Granny is just recalling all the many deaths of her ex-husbands.
Amadeus' head
Oh,
is
we were
turning
married at the
slowly
time.
towards her. Like, what the fuck?
Almond kind of points over to you, Amadeus, and asks you to present your secret ingredient.
I silently, stoically, ominously place a labelless silver cylinder on the table with a series of powdering holes on the top of it, and on the can is written Amadeus's secret stuff.
Christ.
Ooh. I didn't know it was going to be secret stuff.
It's a secret
Irish.
secret ingredient.
Yes, I've layered the secret in a secret.
Don't like that.
Mystery and enigma. Wonderful.
And Almond points over to you, Norbert, for your ingredient.
Just one moment, and Norbert kind of reaches back behind the stage and starts hoisting something obviously extremely heavy, and you can hear it slashing as he brings it up to the stage and smacks down a big oak cask and says, "This right here is the finest bilge water in all of the Atlantic. I have cooked the sweetest soups, the most savory dumplings, everything inside of this bilge water right here, brought straight from my ship, whose name I do not remember."
Amadeus raises his paw. Like, do we have to use all the ingredients you said?
Yes, it is a requirement to use at least one of the secret ingredients.
A good chef can use any ingredient.
Oh my.
Amadeus.
There are certain ingredients that should not be used.
Bilge water. Okay. And Almond gestures over to Bree.
Well, I got really great at cooking this one particular kind of well, cranberries. And she just kind of like pulls out jellied cranberry and just like presents it, and it's just jiggly and lumpy and great.
I love Bree. Just everything that Bree has done, I've been a fan of so far.
It's the voice that sells it for me.
Really is. All
Get the
right.
enthusiasm.
All right. So it is Battle Andouille Sausage, Amadeus Secret Stuff, Bilge Water, and Cranberries today on Mouse Chef. But, as our audience knows, there is also the Mousy Mishap for each round, which I will disclose midway through the round. Each chef will have 3 courses to prepare, and you will be all working together to make a 3-course meal for your 2 judges, myself and Chef Masumoto. Each
Ooh.
course will follow the same format. Firstly, you will prep your meal. Each chef will describe how they prepared themselves or their ingredient for each course, and then you will decide how well that went during the actual prep phase. Each chefs will then cook by rolling your dice, and highest numbers will, of course, go first. Chefs will then dictate how you incorporate your special ingredient into your dish, and you must state how your ingredient pairs with, works with, or otherwise melds with the previous ingredients used in that round. After which you will
Whoa.
present your course. You can either have a head mouse chef picked for that round, or you may all present all at once for that dish to both me and Chef Masumoto. Each round can gain a total of 10 points based on teamwork, use of secret ingredients, taste and presentation, theming of the dish and theming of the soup, and the use of the Mousy Mishap midway through the round. Chefs, you will have a few minutes to go ahead and start prepping up, and your time starts now. So,
Where's
Oh,
the
dear,
sink?
dear.
We need the sink. We gotta wash our hands.
gotta wash your hands, gotta wash
Skitter,
those
skitter,
paws.
skitter, skitter.
Very good. That is
there
correct.
a theme
Quick,
to
scan.
the first course, dearie?
What?
Almond.
there a theme to the first course?
The first course is going to be our appetizer round. So that can either, of course, be a soup, a salad, or any introduction to your dish. Second round will be an entree. Third round will be a dessert.
Oh, that
You said
sounds
we have to-
wonderful.
Roll to see who goes first.
In this phase, this is going to be the prep phase. So right now,
Oh,
each
okay.
of you are describing how you are going to either prepare yourselves or your secret ingredient for this first appetizer course. And then you'll roll to decide how that went.
Oh, delightful.
So let's start at the top of our queue here. Granny, how are you prepping yourself or your ingredient?
Well, I was born red. What's the host's name?
Almond Brown Mouse is the name of the host.
Well, Almond, I was born ready, so for almost 3 whole years now. My appetizer today is going to be the andouille sausage pot stickers. They're just absolutely fantastic, and my 4th husband, Paul, he was such a big fan of them, he almost tried to cram them into his craw 2 at a time. And, well, the doctor didn't think that was so good for his arteries, and turned out the doctor was right, but the recipe is, in fact, to die for.
Now remember, Granny,
These
you will
pot
all have
stickers
to
will be
work
delightful.
together to create a cohesive appetizer, so you will have to work with your fellow chefs to create something together.
Oh, well, that's fine too. That works. I can just grill up the sausage now loose out of the casing, and it can be a nice savory ingredient, nice savory protein. Won't that be tasty?
So that being said, during the prep phase here, you'll have to go ahead and plan how you're going to use all of your secret ingredients to make a cohesive appetizer. So Granny, since you are going ahead and starting to prep up your ingredient, can I have you give me a homemade roll to see how well that goes? Since this is a homemade roll, you can go ahead and roll 2 dice.
Of course you can ask me that, Almond. Big fan. I got a 3 and a 5. I believe that totals to an 8, Almond. Do you
Okay.
mind if I use your first name? We've
He's-
only just been introduced.
He's perfectly fine. Now, as far as rules go, this is still a hack of lasers and feelings. So how it kind of works is you'll use one of the numbers that you rolled here for your success. So what is your number? What is your number here?
Well, my personal number is a 3 because I love home cooking, but I'm not so set in my ways that I can't still learn a few fancy tricks.
Got it. So just reminded me here. You said you rolled what 2 numbers again?
I rolled a 3 and a 5, Almond.
Okay, so you rolled exactly your chosen numbers. So Chef Maisumoto, he's kind of like looking in your direction. You may invoke the knowledge of Chef Maisumoto. When you invoke his knowledge, you may remove 1 ingredient of your choice from this appetizer. That item cannot have been added to the course already.
You know, I think I'm going to rely on Chef Maisumoto. As much as I'm a fan of bilge water, I don't know that we've purified yet. I don't know if the stove is going yet to boil off the bilge, so maybe we can save that for the dessert.
This is an outrage. I demand satisfaction to
I
remove
can't
my
see you.
ingredient before I even have a chance to show you its potential.
I just
Granny,
won't
you
save
have
it for a
you have
later
earned an
battle.
enemy this day.
What is bilge water?
It's
I don't
the
wanna
water
find
which
out.
collects in the bilge.
What's a
Bilge water.
bilge?
I do not know, but it is delicious. It is a tank at the bottom of the boat, and it is free water. You may just come and take bilge water, and no one is guarding it.
Oh.
What's guarding it?
My goodness.
It is
Just
bilge
there.
water. Water is a necessary
we
component
should-
for all recipes.
Nix that.
Well,
Nix that.
rules are rules,
Unimaginative.
Norbert. The knowledge of Chef Maisumoto has been invoked. The bilge water is going to be removed for the appetizer round.
Chef Norbert throws down his spatula and storms off backstage for a moment.
Oh no!
Yeah, stack
Oh,
of
Chef Norbert got his
It's
special
best to bet.
ingredient taken away.
we have lost a chef, and it's only the first round and the first roll of the game.
Amadeus walks into Granny and like puts like a cautious hand on her shoulder. That was the right move. I know he's upset, but that was the correct thing to do. That is
He looks-
boat water.
She sizes you up and down and says, "Dearie, I didn't ask.
Wow. All right. First time I've been
I
spurned.
came to win."
Really.
I love that you're all just like super competitive and against each other in this competitive, friendly environment.
We all accidentally made a different flavor of asshole, except for Melody,
Except Melody. Melody is just
I'm perfectly
Who
who
a good time.
now has been given the task to unify us all.
I know.
all
I
right.
mean, thank you, dearie.
Well, with Norbert having stormed off, Amadeus, can I have you give me your prep roll and kind of describe how you're preparing yourself or your ingredient?
Yeah, so Amadeus is a professional, god damn it. He is going to take you've all seen the bear and also cooking shows. He takes that little like knife containment bag guy, you know what I mean, that has all the like little utensils
bag.
and a knife set bag. Thank you, Casey. He unfurls that. He pulls out a few of his favorite knives. He's looking over at what Granny's doing. Seems to be preparing something with the sausage and the proteins and such, which gets his mind going. You know, thinking back to all the nice restaurants he's been in. It's like, well, if I'm going to prepare a protein, then I don't need to do that, but I can use my secret stuff to perhaps cheesify in some capacity what I'm thinking of doing. So maybe we can have the sausage be peppered on top of a cheesy, what's the word? Elevated baked clam, if you will.
Ooh, that sounds
Mhm.
mouthwatering.
Well, Norbert, you're technically next in queue. Are you still backstage?
Did you wait? Did I need to
You
roll for
hear
that?
him. Excuse me.
Didn't I need to roll?
Oh yes, I am so sorry. I totally forgot. Go ahead and roll your gourmet prep, please. 2 dice.
My number's a 5, so I need to roll under my number. Yes.
For gourmet actions, you want to roll under your number. Yes.
Chow. Oh my sweet lord! I rolled a 3 and a 6. That sucks.
Okay. Well, 3 is
Well,
still
it
a
half
success, kind of. 3 is still good enough. So you're going ahead preparing. You're kind of looking at what Granny's doing and sort of starting to follow her lead there, for prepping that up and kind of helping her elevate her protein.
Okay, so
So
cool.
Norbert, sorry about that. We kind of totally cut you off there because we forgot to have Grant roll. So what is Norbert up to? I'm so sorry.
Norbert, you can hear him cursing backstage a little bit, but he does come back
bless
out.
him.
He is now
In
he's
French.
he's inexplicably wet from his like, had down to like his armpits, and he comes back out and he is like sopping, like kind of like wet, and he walks up and he goes, "Well, this is fine. This is fine. What is it that I can do?"
There's like a camera mouse like following you back to the stage. So what you're going to be doing here, since your ingredient has been forcibly removed from the round due to invoking the knowledge of Chef Masumoto, you'll be prepping.
Sorry, Norbert.
You'll be prepping yourself for this course specifically. So just
I am
give-
prepped. This is done.
you are prepped. This is done. So can I have you give me a roll, please? You can either do gourmet or homemade for this one.
Oh, it's gonna be gourmet.
It's gonna be gourmet, so give me 2d6.
Okay.
Show me the money.
That's a 4, which is my number, and a 6, which is above my number.
Ooh, a
Let's
4
go. Wait,
and
whoa,
a
let's
6.
half go.
So since the 4 is exactly your number, you can in fact invoke the chef, the knowledge of Chef Masumoto. So Chef Masumoto is looking at you. So you of course may remove one ingredient of your choice, which cannot have already been added to the course already. So just letting you know, we are still in the prep phase. Nothing has been currently added to the meal yet.
Where does prepping things to happen at this point.
Exactly. We're not in the cook phase yet.
Okay.
Nothing added.
Nothing has been added yet, so you can still remove any other ingredient of your choice.
Andouille is a barbaric region. It is a region full of classless individuals. So, Chef Masumoto, s'il vous plaît, I would ask that you remove the andouille sausage.
Has to follow
Scandal.
the rules. So Chef
Scandal.
Masumoto just kind of politely goes
It is
over
simply the rules, Granny.
It is the rules. So Masumoto goes over to Granny's station and, politely starts removing the andouille sausage that we're starting to prep.
Oh,
We
Yeah,
have the
really
high privilege of having the game's creator in the chat today, and she just wanted to give us a friendly reminder that you also have the option to forcefully add something if you'd like.
Forcefully add?
Yes, forcefully add something to the dish if you like.
Thank you, Rosie. I appreciate that. I will forcibly re-add the bilge water then. And Norbert looks about and says, I
Oh, thank you,
suppose
Rosie. They, them pronoun. They have reminded us that
my-
they are in the chat and you can add things. Thank you, Rosie.
Appreciate that, Rosie. I will re-add the bilge water, and Norbert says, yes, I suppose the time for subterfuge has passed then. Indeed, if you would please, a glass. And he takes a glass, leans his head over, wrings out his hair into the glass and says, the bilge water.
No, no.
God!
Can I get a clarification? Has he removed the sausage and
Yeah.
also returned the bilge water?
I was going to ask, because
Just
it's going to be
return the
one or
bilge
the
water.
other.
Yeah, no, you
Just
keep
returned.
your dirty sausage.
Okay, so
The
we're
sausage
keeping in
is
the
not the
sausage,
dirty thing I'm concerned with.
and we're adding back the bilge water. Okay, so things are back to their state before any subterfuge had happened. Bree, what have you been up to as far as preparation is concerned? Oh, wait.
Watching Slackjawed.
I've done it again. I forgot to have Josh roll. Oh, wait, no, I didn't. Never mind,
No,
I didn't.
Josh
I'm
rolled.
so
That's why
sorry.
he added the bilge water back.
I just
That's
woke up.
correct.
Give me a break. Okay. So Melody, we're on you. What is Bree doing for preparation?
Well, Bree's a little distracted, honestly, with one of the contestants walking out and then, coming back in, and then this little scuffle here. But she's just kind of chopping and watching, chopping her cranberries and watching. Slack-jawed.
Okay. So you're just kind of watching everybody else prepare. So you're not really doing your ingredient. You're not really preparing yourself so much as you're watching everybody else, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm too distracted.
Okay. Can I just have you give me a 1d6 then for that homemade action?
My number's a 3.
All right.
I got a 1.
Okay, so you still wanted to roll over your number for homemade action, so that's unfortunately a failure. You are distracted. You're just kind of watching everybody else, just kind of la-di-da, just not really paying attention to your prep station.
My cranberry pieces are too big.
You're too big for your little paws. Okay, so that is the prep phase. So at this point in the game, right before the cook round, we're going to try to figure out how to bring this all into a cohesive dish together. It's at this stage of the game, right before the cook phase, that our mousy mishap is going to be added to our appetizer round.
No.
So Chef Almond Brown Mouse brings out a little cloche to the front of the room and says, Mouse Chefs, here is your mousy mishap for the day. In addition to your secret ingredients, you must also add, and he lifts the cloche like really dramatically, eggplant.
Eggplant.
Ooh,
Eggplant.
You can do wonderful
Okay.
things with
Oh, no.
eggplant. That'll make a lovely match in some spring rolls or some pot stickers. That'd be delightful. Or we
not the
could serve
worst
them on
in the
little
world.
medallions.
Now remember, if any of you do invoke the knowledge of Chef Masumoto, you can also remove the mousy mishap, though do keep in mind if you do so, that may affect your scoring.
Oh, well, we don't
Mama
want to
didn't raise
upset
no coward.
Masumoto. Do
What-
we
what-
do a confab? How do we talk? How do we figure out what we'd like to make together?
Yeah, yeah, Jenny.
Well, that's up to y'all. This is a cooperative effort. What do you guys want to cook?
Well, if I could make a suggestion, I think the raspberries would make a lovely glaze, or perhaps a dipping sauce for a nice sweet little contrast to the savory.
The
That's just an
cranberries.
idea.
Yes, we have
Cranberries,
cranberries.
yes, yes,
Cranberries.
dear. I'm so sorry. My
But those
eyesight
would
isn't
go-
what it used to be.
They go good with the sausage.
I do think they'd pair up nicely. Yeah.
Yeah.
We do need to find a creative solution to Norbert's bilge water.
I am offended that you still insist on treating it like a problem to be solved. This is a net
quite frankly, it
positive
is.
aid. No,
we
We could,
no.
we at least boil it.
No,
we
try
could- we
it.
could use
It's
it to
best raw,
steam.
trust me.
Oh my
Chris.
God.
Best raw.
We could use it to
That's raw.
steam the,
Oh my God.
the
All
appetizer.
the flavor is in the raw ingredient.
I'll be the judge of that. I grab a glass.
Okay. Well, you're gonna grab the glass and you're just gonna take a swig of bilge water. I don't know if I should make you
I would
roll
call
for
that
this.
I would call it a sip as opposed to a swig. I'm just doing what any good chef would do, and is testing their
Merci.
ingredient, a little taste, just to see what Norbert's onto, to see if I can scheme something with this thing. So I personally would like to roll something to see if like my brain works, or maybe if I can get Misamoto's input. I don't know. Whatever you deem fit, Jenny.
Sure. Give me a gourmet action here, since you're gonna be, testing your palate, so to speak, for the bilge water here.
Hey,
Do we have a medic teams on standby in case he swallows the
we
bilge?
do have medical teams on standby.
Yeah, I'm straight up just like swishing it and spitting it out, not like eating it.
Yeah, just like a wine tasting.
Yeah.
Well, it's bilge. It's salty. It kind of tastes a little dirty. It's certainly ocean water.
No. You are thinking of
It's-
this the wrong way.
It's runoff water.
Oh,
Maybe
So
if we
what?
salt it.
So the bottom of a boat has a little catcher. Imagine a
I think
trough
we
on the
should
bottom
make
of a
holy
ship.
water with it.
Oh,
So
no.
So boil
I-
it.
Boil
come
the
into,
hell
like, a-
out of it.
Yeah.
I come into a moment of clarity and I go, it is salty. It has hair in it, as to be
Hair.
expected
well,
from the. You rang it out of your hair, Norbert.
No. That is
However,
only a seasoning.
I do think we can utilize it. There is a salt flavoring in there, so perhaps boiling it will give us the hint of sodium we need. We just pick something that can endure being boiled in salt water. Which I think the eggplant would be the ideal thing to do here.
Oh, that could be quite something.
I'm imagining we hollow out the eggplant and we treat it in the same way one would bake a potato. But instead of baking it, we're going to boil it, we're going to hollow it out, and then we'll go from there.
We could make a lovely little boat of savory andouille morsels inside of the
A
was
diverse
it
ship.
again?
And we
You all talk fancy.
could accordingly thicken the sauce with the cranberries, which should balance out the brininess of the bilge water and perhaps whatever horrible flavor that sausage imparts.
Yes, the horrible flavor from the sausage. Right.
Is the sausage cooked? May I try some?
Oh, please do. It's
Yes, please, you try it. My palate, I
I-
think I need to refresh my tongue somehow.
I expect
Imagine-
a similar role for the sausage as for the bilge water because we were assuming a lot about a mouse's taste here.
Yes,
Imagine.
I agree.
yes, please. So this will be
teeny
for
saute pan.
a taste test. So how are you
Okay.
going about this taste test here, Melody? Are you going to be looking for sophisticated flavors, or how are you going about this?
I really just want to know, yeah, the sophistication of the flavors then. Just like really the texture of it, because sausage kind of has that unique texture. I don't really like sausage myself, but I'll imagine.
Yeah.
And just kind of seeing what it invokes feeling wise.
Okay. So that sounds is pretty gourmet. You're trying to, kind of prep your palate
Yeah.
for how that tastes here. Can I have you give me a gourmet roll for that, please?
Okay. 4.
Okay. And is that over or under your number, just so I know?
Oh, that is over.
That is over your number. Okay. So
Yes.
you'd fail the gourmet action. It's tasty. You like it. You're not
Yeah.
really sure how well it would go with everything else.
I love her. I love Brie. Just here for a good time.
Okay. Well, it has potential.
So
Uh,
does Chef Norbert.
exactly. So I think, what if we soak the sausage in the water?
I think the less things in the water, the better.
Yeah.
If we could use the bilge water to steam up the eggplant, that could be something tasty.
Ooh, like
Could
a never
certainly
boil
do
it kind of
that.
situation. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Someone mentioned hollowing out the eggplant, which is how my third fiance Devin used to enjoy his eggplant. Rest his soul.
Is the third fiance similar to the third husband or a different mouse?
He didn't make it to the altar. Bless
Hmm.
him. Collapsed halfway through a cake tasting.
The timeline on these is just baffling to me, given
Can
that she's
someone
30
like
There's
years
map
old.
out
Yeah.
the granny timeline of the fiancés and husbands?
Oh, I'm already
Don't worry
lost. I
about
got
it.
lost for like the second or third.
So, from what I
Technically, I'm a
understand,
Padano, Jones, Brown, Smith, Haverford, Schnitz, but I just go by Padano.
you kept all the last names, just collecting them?
No. I cut them all off.
Oh my god. Alrighty, so we are entering the cook phase now that we've all
What
prepped
are
up.
we making of an eggplant boat? Is that what we landed on?
From what it sounds like
It's
you're trying to make
thematic.
a hollowed out eggplant with sausage. Eggplant was boiled in the brine. Haven't really
No, I think we
decided what
nixed
to
that
do with
part.
the.
Yeah.
Haven't really decided what to do with the cranberries though. So can I have you each give me
Oh,
a
man.
D6 roll? Highest number will go first during the cook phase.
Oh, now I
just
roll
roll.
those 5. Great.
I got it. There's just one little dot on my dice.
Just the one.
Is that a good
3.
one? 3 from Brie.
And a 6 from Norbert.
All right. So we got
El
a
surprise.
So we got a 6 from Norbert, a 5 from Amadeus, you said it was a 3 for Brie? That rhymes. That's cool.
Yes.
And then a 1 for Grandma. Okay, so Norbert, you are at the top of the queue. How are you incorporating your special ingredient for our aubergine au bilgewater with sausage?
Given that the rest of the chefs on the team have asked Norbert to boil the bilge water, he reluctantly takes out a pot and begins pouring his glasses of bilge water into the said pot.
It's the front of their
turns on-
glasses
Turns
that
on,
really gets me.
turns on the burner, and you see a little piece of his soul die as he does it. But he looks back at Amadeus and just kind of motions, and the floor, she is yours.
Amadeus solemnly bows, like nods his head and goes, "Thank you, chef."
Please ruin my bilge water more. And he steps out of the way.
If it makes you feel better, this is probably the only time we can get away with boiling it, so we'll have to find other solutions later. We can't be a 3-trick pony here.
I
All right,
knew a
Amadeus,
three-trick
so
pony once.
So during the
nickname in
cook round,
college.
you do have to dictate how you're going to incorporate your special ingredient into the dish, and you must state how your ingredient pairs with, works with, or otherwise melds with the previous ingredient added.
So I have no previous ingredients.
'Cause it's the
I've
bilge
stated
water.
how I right. I've stated how I've prepared it.
Yep.
We're boiling it. I have I covered everything that I need to then?
Since you're
How it
starting us
pairs?
off here, it's gonna be pairing with the eggplant specifically, since that's our mousy mishap here.
So eggplant can be a little, especially raw eggplant at this point. The boiling water should soften the tough and leathery texture of the fruit, and also make it more palatable and indeed editable, as opposed to its previously raw state.
Right. So the eggplant
Flawless.
is going away here, boiling in that bilge water. So, take it away, Amadeus. What do you got?
Amadeus is removing the eggplant with a pair of tongs after it has been sufficiently boiled, and is peppering the secret stuff at the base of the eggplant boat. Post hollowing of it. Just it's coming out. It's like a whitish yellowish powder, and it comes out, and it not solidifies, and it's good. I promise. It's not like a weird thing that I'm doing.
Grant, what exactly is your secret ingredient? I am dying to know.
You want me to
Has it been
reveal my
FDA
secret?
approved?
Absolutely, it's been FDA approved. My secret ingredient is baking yeast.
Oh,
Baking yeast is a little clever trick that vegetarian and vegan and high-end chefs use to simulate a hint of cheese in their meals to make it, and I figure since we are all mice, people would be expecting cheese constantly. So to make it more appealing to my clientele, I sneak a little baking yeast in the stuff.
clever.
I've essentially made the base a hint of cheesy to prep it for the next ingredients.
Cheesiness without the cheese. Brilliant.
Nutritional yeast is the actual word for it. Thank you, Rosie. I said baking yeast, but it is nutritional yeast.
Kind of like shaitan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Da-da-da-da. So next we have Brie. How are you incorporating your dish? Remember, you have to go ahead and include how you're pairing it now with Amadeus's nutritional yeast.
Well,
I
I
gotta
have.
phrase it like that.
Ew, wait a minute.
Sorry. Go ahead.
On that note, well, I don't really know what nutritional yeast is, so I'm just gonna make it pretty with my cranberries. And she just starts putting little cranberries kind of around the base as well. Just kind of maybe put some in little spots on the actual eggplant itself, just kind of like little blossoms of cranberry.
Okay, so you're just kind of putting the cranberries kind of around the plate as sort of a garnishment for the actual
Yeah.
eggplant. Okay. Okay. And then last we have Granny. How are you doing in your cook round?
Well, my. I've so enjoyed watching our other mouse testants do their thing, and I'm just so excited to take this. And she takes a little tiny wooden spoon that looks like it was carved out of a larger wooden spoon, and gracefully as she can scrapes some of the nutritional yeast and the raspberry into the frying pan with the sausage as it sizzles. I think if we activate the nutritional yeast with a little additional heat before it gets scooped onto the lovely presentational eggplant, then I think that's going to nicely tie everything together with a little bit of sweet tartness from the cranberries. Yes, not the raspberries. I wanted to make sure I got it right that time.
Cranberries, yes.
Now, do I have to roll again to see how well I do? My eyesight isn't terribly good. I don't want to miss the plating by missing the plate.
Wait, were we
Uh,
rolling? Did we roll?
What I'm gonna have you all do here is we're gonna go ahead and roll at the very end of the round to see how it all went, and we'll just kind of total up our successes for the round as a whole.
Jenny had a plan. She
Ooh.
she was doing. I trusted her immensely from the get go. I never doubted.
Listen, man,
Huh?
you gave me a cooking show and said have fun with it, and I'm having fun with a goddamn cooking show.
I'm just nervous. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm having a delightful time, and these raspberries are just so beautifully cute. You
Cranberries.
did a great cranberries. Did I say raspberries again? I thought I said cranberries.
I have to believe it's a bit at this point.
It really isn't.
Casey's really going like full like method with this character. Who can say?
Granny, get your glasses on. They're cranberries. Rosie,
I
I've
do
just been loving all of your
apologize.
commentary.
Just a mouse in the audience screaming at her like, Granny!
I just like to imagine Rosie is like the one mouse in the audience, just like, come the fuck on.
I'm
Our
glad
Twitch
Rosie's here.
viewership is how many people are in the audience right now, just putting that out there.
Don't tell that to me.
Okay, well, multiply it by 5.
All right.
Alrighty, everybody. So since you have all gone ahead and prepped up, you can each give me a homemade or a gourmet roll based on how you've cooked. If you're doing it as something that you have experience in, since you are all dealing with your secret ingredient, each of you please roll for me 2d6 and tell me if you did either homemade or gourmet. We'll just go around the board as we've been doing from the top of the queue. So Norbert first, since he rolled first.
I am rolling gourmet
Mhm.
because that is the only way that Norbert knows how to cook. And I have rolled a 3 and a 4. A 4 is my number.
Ooh. So you still rolled both under your number. So in this case, you can invoke the knowledge of Chef Maisumoto. Since all the ingredients have already been added, we're going to go ahead and see what else we can really add to this dish. Is there anything that you think would help elevate our eggplant dish here to the next level?
Or something you want to scrape off.
No. If there's one thing that I believe pairs well with eggplant, that's miso. So he is going to go into the cupboard and find some miso, and at the last second there, he's gonna scuttle his way out and be like, "Oh no, the best way for the Bilgewater to really infiltrate your ingredient is to include just," and he sprinkles it on top.
Amadeus like looks directly into a camera somewhere. It's like, of all the words he could have said, he chose infiltrate.
Really need to get it deep inside the structure of the dish.
I no longer fear death, for I have met Norbert, the French chef.
All
right.
right.
Uh,
So,
Your boy
you're next.
Amadeus rolled gourmet, of course, and rolled 2 2s,
2 2s.
which is far under my number of 5.
Perfecto. So you are getting in there. You're prepping up your yeast to the most gourmet possible way, making sure that it incorporates well and gives a nice cheesy flavor to the eggplant, to the miso. And then next we have Bree. Go ahead and give me what type of roll. And you said you're doing a homemade one for this, yeah? I assume?
Yes. Homemade roll.
Homemade roll.
My number's 3, and I've rolled a 6
Ooh.
and a 2.
6 and a 2. Okay. So that's still one over your number, so that's still one success. So give me the kind of the rundown. So you've gone ahead and made sure that your cranberries are just like a nice garnishment on the plate. They're just adding some nice color and pop to the eggplant there.
Nice and supple.
Mhm.
Yes, they're all the right texture, and they're all the right size.
With love.
Incroyable.
With love.
Alrighty, Granny. Let's go
With
ahead and
love.
see how you do for your homemade roll for preparing your sausage inside that eggplant here.
Oh, that's going to be wonderful. Now, just because I'm a home style chef, does that mean that my approach in this moment is also home style?
You can
Because
approach it
with
however
these
you like.
gourmets, I feel so fancy. Well, I think since we're incorporating the bilge and the eggplant and the wonderful plating skills of our friend here, and of course these wonderful cranberries. Did I get that right this time?
You
Cranberries?
did.
Oh, wonderful. Well, if we serve up just the tiniest little dollop, and she attempts to scoop, identical sized morsels of the loose cooked andouille into little hills of the inside the halved,
Yeah,
steamed, open
you got
eggplant.
it.
And I roll 2 of these cubes. Let's see how we do. My numbers are 3, and I rolled a 1 and a 2.
Dog.
That was gourmet,
I don't think that was
though,
right.
Yeah, you rolled gourmet, right?
Oh.
Which would be
Yeah.
two successes.
Wow.
Whoa.
Very,
Tasty
very
Oh, that's
nice.
good.
What?
thought I'd done. I thought I'd
I
done.
had
Gourmet
it
is
all.
under. That
I
was
apologize.
perfect.
Oh, that's fantastic! Look at it. Did we do well?
Yeah, so for gourmet
Casey went
apples,
hard
you're
mode
with-
and crushed it.
Very nice. Very
Oh,
nice.
that's
So it's a
wonderful.
total.
Ooh.
Well
That's
done, Granny.
That is 7 successes all across the board here for this particular round. Okay.
Who wants a high five?
I do.
A high 4.
High paw. Boop, boop, boop. Just
Hey.
high fives all around.
Yay.
Okay, so now we have reached the
I
presentation.
do not high five, but I do nod approvingly.
All right, so Chef Masumoto
Okay.
and Almond Brown are sitting at the judgment table. You may either pick to go ahead and present all together here, or you may pick a head mouse chef to do the talking for the presentation of your appetizer.
Well, what do we say, folks? One for all or all for one?
I shouldn't talk.
I begrudgingly volunteer.
Oh, Norbert, you know,
No,
yes,
it's-
go ahead. Norbert, wait, hear me out. It's a boat.
It is. This is something which I am intimately familiar with.
Okay, so since
Present
you are
the boat.
intimately familiar with boats, the two professional mouse chefs sit at the table awaiting your judgment. How are you going to present the dish?
Chefs, first, merci for having me here today.
It's wonderful having you.
I have been chosen to represent this dish for you. As you can see, this is a boat of sausage, a boat of cranberry, a boat of beautiful nutritional yeast. I must say, most of all, though, this is a boat of love. This is a dish in which every mouse has poured forth their best effort and truly set this dish afloat on a sea of culinary delight. I invite you, as you eat the eggplant, to slice thinly and get a good scoop of the water collected at the bottom of the dish to truly get the whole experience. Bon appetit. I implore you and wish you the best.
Alrighty, so just kind of let you know how I'm going to be running the judgment round here. I'm going to make one homemade roll for Chef Almond and then one gourmet roll for Chef Maisumoto here for how the tasting went.
What are their numbers? I need to know.
Ooh.
Well, I guess you'll just have to keep guessing here. Okay, so that is
Damn
one
it.
success and one failure.
No.
So
Who failed?
Almond kind of tastes the eggplant and just kind of he makes a little bit of a face as he's going through it. Maisumoto though, he is over the moon. He is like he's actually enjoying it. He really likes the flavors. Almond is like, okay, so this is interesting. This isn't really the direction I thought it was going to go in, but the eggplant pairs well with the sausage. I like the salt. It just seems a little bit too salty for my taste. Maisumoto, on the other hand, is like, well, I love how the cranberries were incorporated as a garnish. They really add a pop of freshness and a pop of flavor to the dish as a whole. It really helps cut some of the salt and some of the grease from the sausage. So this is a very well done dish. Thank you very much, chefs. All
You
right.
can barely taste the bilge.
You can barely taste the bilge water. All right, so
I had no, just the bilge.
The bilge.
just the bilge, not the water, just the bilge. All right, so after the
Also,
presentation,
not being crazy about it makes me feel good.
all right, chefs.
This
after,
is not a dish for the meek.
after careful judging of your first round, we have opted to give you 6 points out of 10 for your appetizer. Remember, you have to get above 15 points
Hey.
to win the competition.
Where did we lose points?
This was based on both teamwork, use of ingredient, and taste and presentation were the main areas of lack here. The use of the mousy mishap was still
I think
very
the
good. It
areas
was
of
the
lack
star
are
of the
your
dish.
taste buds, Alton.
Almond.
Whatever, almond. Almond.
Oh, you might be mistaking me for somebody else. All right. So we are going into the entree round. So same deal. You can go ahead and get yourselves prepped up. Go ahead and give me each of you a roll and kind of describe how you're preparing yourself. We'll start in the same order that we did the last time. So Norbert, Amadeus, Bree, and Granny for preparation.
All right.
Roll.
Norbert again gets himself wrist deep in his cask, comes back up and scrubs his hands, his paws, and slaps him on his chest, slaps him up on his neck, and says, "All right, mise en place, oui." And he starts filling glasses one after another and lining them up on his prep station.
Alrighty. Could I have you give me a 2d6 gourmet roll, please?
Absolutely. That is a 6 and a 3. My number is a 4.
Very, very.
Okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
It's not great. but
Quite
you're-
all right.
You're doing good. So you're starting prepping up your glasses. You know, you're still kind of trying to recover from the entree round. The 6 might be getting to you a little bit here. So next, Amadeus, how are you prepping yourself?
I am prepping myself. We've been working for quite a while at this point,
It's been 30 minutes.
so I have, I've that's a long time in chef world. I have removed my hat. I freshened up my brow. I'm trying to not make it look like I've been working too hard. I switched out the hat with a new hat, and I am unfurling a new collection of knives.
More knives and a new hat. All right, can I have you give me a 2d6 gourmet roll, please?
Here, that is my number and a 1.
Ooh, so you get to invoke the knowledge of Chef Maisumoto. Now, as the creator, Rosie has been very generous in letting us know, so you don't actually have to, remove ingredients. You can do a whole bunch of other things as far as the prep phase is concerned here. So, of course, you do have the option to invoke the knowledge of Chef Maisumoto to either remove, add. What do you want to do when you invoke his knowledge?
I'd like to ask him directly.
Okay,
Now, chef,
kind of
I
just walks up to your
understand that there's
station.
going to be an obstacle thrown our way. If I can invoke your knowledge, if you could direct me towards a seasoning that could perhaps counteract salt or pair well with the new ingredient, I would be much obliged.
Okay. One moment here, I actually have to Google a thing.
I use my role to make Jenny do the work.
Never have you always leave it to the show producer.
Work smarter, not harder, chefs.
Okay, so with the without being able to reveal what the mishap is before the round starts, he does let you know that this one, if you're trying to avoid saltiness, what you can go to help pair with it well would be garlic powder and onion powder for this round.
Interesting. Okay, I'll take the garlic powder.
Okay.
Ooh.
So Amadeus also has a little bottle of garlic powder at his station as well now. All right, Bree, how are you prepping yourself?
Put it right next to.
I am fuzzy.
That's just wonderful, dear. Now, do you have any secrets with your cranberries? Because I had some ideas about cranberries and sausage going together, and they were just making my mouth water. Do we still need to riff, or are we back?
I believe we are back.
We still need to rip.
Do we still need to riff or are we
You
back?
sound better.
Yeah, I believe everything is going smoothly now, so we're going to need to go ahead and repost the link because we had to restart.
Oh, all right. Oh, we still got the same number of people who were in there before. I'm assuming it's us. That's what we have VODs for.
That is what we have
Ooh.
VODs for. In this case, I'm probably going to have to like smash the two of them together, but it's okay. So just catching us up. Hi, I had some brief internet problems there for a second. Bree, we were going ahead and getting you started for our prep phase for the entree round.
Yes. So Bree is a little torn up by the numbers that we were given from our last dish, because the aesthetic, the overall aesthetic was kind of her thing, and so she's kind of beating herself up over not doing as well in that as she would have hoped. So she's just kind of sautéing some cranberries, making them a little soupier, a little bit more palatable, and what's the word I'm looking for? Moldable? No.
Pliant?
Sure. Yes, that'll work.
Liquefied?
Like, yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
like you can use it at a bunch of different ways. I
Okay.
can't think of the damn word.
It is
Pliable.
okay.
Sure, pliable will work.
Pliable. I'm sure there's a more gastronomic term for
There's a
that.
better word,
somewhere.
but-
Cranberry.
I can't.
It's okay.
This
so-
hasn't been a great stream for knowing the words for things.
Fair enough.
You can tell that we all play D&D more often than we cook.
I can't cook at all.
Hey,
For
oh,
yourselves.
That's okay.
Casey plays a Doctor Who game.
And I love to cook. I just love to cook.
All right, so how are you approaching this? You doing a homemade prep for your cranberries or a gourmet prep?
Yeah. Homemade, definitely.
All right, so since you are a homemade chef, go ahead, give me 2d6, please.
My number's 3, and I got 4 and 2.
4 and 2. Okay, so that's still one success out of those two, so that's still good. So you're getting focused, you're getting your head in the game there, starting to get your cranberries all prepped for the round. And then lastly, Granny, how are you prepping either yourself or your ingredient?
Oh, well, I like to think I'm already prepared as I'm going to be, Almond. Almond, have you ever been on one of those roasted shows? Because wouldn't that make you a roasted almond?
Oh my god.
Have we ever
Yeah,
done the roast of almond brown mouse?
I would love to do a roast of almond brown mouse at some point in the future. That sounds hilarious.
In any case, this is the main course, and it's time for us to get serious now about what we're doing. What I've done with this next batch of andouille sausage is slice it into medallions, which will be fried up, and if we're making soup, I'm going to dedicate this pot to my poor belated Derek. He always said that my zuppa toscana was to die for, and then he proved it face down in a bowl of seconds. It was so sad and yet so savory and delicious, and I can think that the bilge water that he's been making glasses of over there will make a nice stock for the soup, so long as we strain it first, because I'm not so sure about the bilge.
I can think
The
of no
bilge
better
is
way
the
to
best
go than
part, Granny.
I can think of no better way to go than face down in a bowl full of seconds. Can I have you give me either a homemade or a gourmet for your prep, please?
Oh, this is absolutely homemade almond, and I'm going to roll 2 of these cubes here.
You got it. Go
My
right
number
ahead.
is a 3, and I rolled a 1 and a 2 again. Oh, dear. I
Okay.
think that's called biffing it. Did I biff it, dear?
A little bit of biff, yeah. So you're getting kind of lost in your memories of, previous
Oh,
husbands and kind of
Derek.
monologuing to yourself as you're kind of chopping up your sausage. Not really looking where you're chopping. You've kind of like gone off of it and started just like tapping your knife just on the cutting board as you're going along. All right, but right before our cooking phase, it is time for your mousy mishap. Almond once again takes the stage with another cloche, and he says, "Chefs, your next mousy mishap will be as follows. You must prepare an entree with," and he lifts it up, "rotisserie chicken."
Ooh.
Oh, thank God. Actually,
Chicken
I
goes
have
great with
never used
cranberries.
this ingredient before, but
chicken goes great with almost everything we have here.
All right, now do
What-
remember, you
what
still
does it
have
not
2
go
rounds to
great
go,
with?
one of which must be a soup. So think carefully about how you're going to prepare your entree round.
Be a great round for soup.
One more time, Granny.
This would be a great round for soup. And like just taps loudly on the microphone.
just on her little.
Hey, thank
on
you,
her
thank you.
lapel,
I,
just
I
tap,
got
tap,
it, I
tap.
got it. Now, while I agree, we could be bolder and make a dessert soup.
How?
this is
Ooh.
Now I'm
fortune
curious.
favors the bird.
There we fly so close to the sun. Would
Call
our
me
wax
Daedalus.
wings not melt under such a heady broth?
Icarus flew too close to the sun. However, his master, Daedalus, saw the potential and dared to dream, and I think we can do that.
Hmm.
I blacked out
Amadeus,
halfway through my monologue.
You play dangerously, my boy.
That's why I get to work in one of the finest chefs' kitchens in the world.
You work
And
with
why would-
humans?
Yes,
Oh,
quite frequently.
Scary.
oh.
I have
I've
to
never
wear
used them.
special
I am
gloves for it.
Ziggurat.
Now the chicken. Our previous round, we made the eggplant for Star, and they gave us the advice that they wanted to see our secret ingredients be featured more heavily. Granny, how do you feel about a sausage stuffed in the chicken situation, or vice versa?
Well, it'd be a lot easier to do the former than the latter.
Good God, stop. Please, please, oh Lord.
You were just prepared to keep that bit going as long as you could, huh? Oh my God.
You let them do it again.
I'm sorry.
I would
And
like
they
to
wipe
open-
their eyes, but yes, in all seriousness, the sausage should go in the bird.
The sausage should go in the bird. Bree? Norbert?
Yeah?
Thoughts?
I have never worked with this ingredient before.
Chicken?
How you say?
Chicken?
Chicken,
Comment dit-on?
poulet, la poulet.
Chicken?
You-
No.
Is
I'm
you
using
Sorry,
the
it
never
French
rings no
work
bell.
with chicken?
No. Is some
What-
type of vegetable?
What proteins are you familiar with?
Oh, all the proteins. I have clam. I have the clippings of the toenails, which I have collected from the bottom of the wastebasket. I have the beets that are collected underneath the stove sur le boat. All the major groups.
Oh my
I
God.
think he's made 1 or 2 oversights.
One or
I
two?
love Norbert because he's like this pompous guy who has actually like technically no cooking experience. I love him.
I
No,
take
he's a gourmet chef who's been working with what he has.
Yeah,
that's right.
he's doing his best with what he's got. I love him.
Bree, please tell me you know how to dress a chicken.
With clothes?
This would seem to follow.
No.
I the office stare into a camera, like I'm goddamn Jim on The Office was like, just like looking right at it, and I'm like, all right, okay, it's fine. So we shall put the sausage into the bird. Bree, your job is going to be a cranberry glaze to put on the sausage and the bird.
Yes, chef.
Thank you. Norbert, we can't boil the bilge water again, so we're probably not going to be able to brine the chicken or the sausage. Do you have any alternative ideas with your bilge? Granny, you got very excited about bilge water. Well,
The brining sounds lovely, although not a very
Oh.
good Stephen King adaptation.
Gosh.
Might I suggest a cocktail, chilled with the cranberry garnish? I'm assuming cranberry is a fruit, oui?
we it is.
And perhaps we use that as a nice pairing for the chicken.
I'm like looking around, and I'm just like head in my hands, and I'm just like, very well. Maybe it won't hurt us too bad. He mumbles under his breath. Sure, a bilge water cocktail.
I'm excited.
Merci, chef.
Mm.
Let me tell
Hmm.
you, I'm excited.
I will, of course, sprinkle my nutritional yeast atop the sausage so that when you bite into the chicken, you are met with the garlic, the cheese, and the cranberry. We're going to combine the savory with the sweet. God help us.
All
I'm
right.
sorry, there was garlic. May I have some for my cocktail?
If your objective is to make me barf, you're winning.
Norbert, I'll tell you what, you can do whatever you want to the cocktail.
That is your wheelhouse.
Go nuts, mon frere.
All right. So at the start of our cooking round, of course, we all roll 1d6 for, I guess, initiative. I suppose highest numbers go
1d6
first.
for my sanity. A 4
I
for
got a
Amadeus.
3.
Bree also got a 4.
It's a fight now.
It's a 2 for Norbert.
That feels right.
That does
feels
feel
right
right.
for this round.
A little bit. Well, Amadeus and Bree, since you both tied here, we don't really have a rule for that. Can I have you give me one more d6 roll, each of you, to see who goes first? If you tie again, you have to go exactly at the same time. You have to talk over each other.
No, Melody, I got a 1, so you probably win.
I got a 2. Yeah, I did.
There you go.
Okay.
All right, Bree, star of the show, you're starting us off, so you have to kind of explain how the cranberries will be working with our mousy mishap, the chicken, the rotisserie chicken.
Oh, well, I think the consensus was that I should make a cranberry glaze. That's yes, cranberry glaze. I should make that. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm getting stage fright. I don't know how to grace.
I believe
Make
in
it up.
you.
Wing it. Who cares?
Have fun
Grace.
with it. We don't have to actually know how to make a glaze.
I'm in
Butter
character.
and sugar and cranberries.
Bree, the character, has stage
The
fright.
character has stage fright.
Oh no.
I think
We all went too helpful there.
Sorry.
I think I didn't do so well on the presentation last time, so this glaze has got to be beautiful and it's got to be colorful and it
I believe in you.
This
You've
would be a
got it,
good
Bree.
time to explain how sous chefing works out here.
Yeah, sous chefing.
We do have sous chefing. What any of our other players can do is during any preparation, cook, or presentation roll, you can roll a 1d6. A 4 and above is successful, and you can give your player another plus 1d6 to help out with this roll.
Oh. I think.
I could try.
Yeah. I was
Somebody
gonna say
please help.
Granny should be the one to do it for sure, right?
Yeah, two
I'll
homemade
take,
chefs
Yeah.
helping
a,
each other out.
I'll take a swing at sous chefing.
All right.
I will take advice from Granny.
I got a 3. Is that sufficient?
Fortunately not. You have to roll a 4 or above for a successful sous chef roll. So you're kind of just, talking through it, just kind of trying to help breathe through her stage fright here.
One of my grandnieces, Fesmeralda, had stage fright during her school play. They were cooking too. It was an off-contract adaptation of The Spittle Mermaid, and she just spat at everybody the entire show. It was very wet and very disappointing, and the darn thing forgot her water, bless her. Title role, first time in her life, and nothing. Hate to see it.
I understand.
I know
Just
you
that
do,
nod
Chef.
of I get it, and then that in your brain is like, I don't get it.
You see Norbert in the corner wiping a single tear away from his eye, really feeling for Fesmeralda.
Amadeus looks over and sees Bree is struggling, and Granny is just talking about a musical or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, good God, that glaze is never going to get done if I."
So you're gonna try to help sous chef as well, Grant?
I am. Hold that shit.
Hey! So rolling a 6. You've been in a professional kitchen before.
I full on Gordon Ramsay and Master Chef Jr. this shit. I'm just like, oh, you poor thing.
Please
Aw.
help.
All right. Talk it through. How are you gonna help out here?
I show her how to properly glaze. I point out the things she's been doing right. I show her the things she may have missed. I'm a very patient teacher in this moment. And by the time she is done, she has the most perfectly prepped bowl of cranberry glaze you ever did see. And then I do that thing that I can't do in real life that chefs do, where they do the little thing to their mouth and the little noise, the little popping noise out
Chef's
of their
kiss.
mouth. And, yeah, a
Chef's
chef's kiss with a little pop to it. There you go, bon appetit, well done.
All right. So with Amadeus's help here, you get an additional 1d6 for your roll. So since you still have experience in preparing cranberries, I'm gonna give you 3d6 that you can make on this
Okay.
roll here.
Ooh.
Rock and roll.
Okay. All right. I have to get over a 3, right?
Yes. So if your number is a 3, this is a homemade action. You want to roll over your number.
I got a 1, and a 5, and a 6.
Hey, so no.
Let's
So
go.
that 1 is that little bit of stage fright just kind of leaving your body. But that 5 and that 6, you are getting your confidence back. Amadeus
Yay!
really knows what he's doing. You can learn a lot from this guy. And god damn, that glaze is just beautiful. Beautiful. All
Yay.
right. Speaking of Amadeus, it's your turn.
Amadeus just looks over and like Robert Redford nods at Bree with a big smile, and then focuses on his own endeavors. Which what the hell did I say I was going to do? I'm
Great question. Figure it the fuck out.
You were going to do some yeasty things.
Introducing some
Odd way to
yeasty
put it.
boys to the situation.
yeah, I start rapping whitely. I oh yeah, I am preparing the chicken to be invaded, if you will, to borrow an earlier term, and
Infiltrated chef.
infiltrate the chicken. I'm carving out the hole. I'm getting it ready for the sausage to enter the. The more I describe this, the more perverted it sounds, but it's official. So that's what I'm doing. I'm prepping the bird.
Thou preppest
Gourmetly.
the bird. Okay.
More manly.
I'm assuming gourmet, considering you have no experience in
Yes.
homemade anything.
Yes, I do not use home ingredients. I use only the finest.
All right, give me a 2d6 since you have experience in gourmet actions.
Like Orson Welles in that one commercial.
Braha, the Braha Blast.
Not that one. A 4 and a 2, Chief.
4 and a 2, both of which are under your number. Man, you have
Yeah.
been working with this yeast like it was your entire life's work, which it freaking is at this point. That chicken is starting to look sumptuous and delicious. You are on top of your game today, really.
Granny, I present to you a perfect bird.
Ooh, that's such a lovely hen you've roasted.
Shout out to Nerdfits in the chat who just says we just needed to relieve. It's
Fitz, I'm
it's-
glad you're here.
it ain't a Game Master Monday session without puns, and we really encourage it for this very specific round.
A lot of puns in this one, kids.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my,
a lot
yes,
of
it's
puns
the
in
yeast
this
we could do.
Cran it, Granny. Speaking of
Cranberry it. Hey, shut up.
Grant, get out of here.
Okay.
You're illegal. Speaking of Granny, what are you going to be prepping for your sausage? So I'm understanding we're stuffing the chicken with it.
Yes, but you never want to stuff or infiltrate a bird with uncooked ingredients because that way lies all sorts of horrible complications like which was it? Was it Frandre or Fresica? One of the two just didn't make it out of a bird in one piece, and you just hate to see it, Almond. You just hate to see it. So what I've done is, Bree has been nice enough to share their lovely raspberries, which will be a part of the stuffing as we combine the sausage and the
Cranberry.
cranberries.
All
into
together
the-
now.
Did I say it wrong again?
Confetti falls.
At this point, it's just part of the bit, and I love it.
Oh God, forgive me.
Anyway, that's going to make just an absolute scrumptious stuffing for this delightful bird. And I have to roll how many dice am I rolling for this home cooking attempt of mine?
So since you have experience in homemade actions, this will be 2d6.
Oh, that's wonderful, Almond. Thank you so much.
Casey
that's
going
a-
into the Granny character. It's like, where did my friend Casey go?
They're gone. They're a grandma now.
There is only Granny.
Oh boy, I got myself a 3 and a 6 again, Almond.
Remind me what your number is again?
I got a 3.
So your number is a 3. Okay. So you can invoke the knowledge of Chef Maisumoto. So just as a reminder, things that have already been added cannot be removed from the course, but you can certainly go ahead and invoke his knowledge to add things, change things. So what's on your mind, Granny? How can Chef Maisumoto help?
I was wondering if we could get like one of those really, really, really big containers of the yeast. Like not just a little one, but something larger, because I know we've got soup left to make, but I've got all this sausage left over. We could make popovers after the show. Or maybe just sprinkle the chicken with it for a little bit of an extra cheddary bite to it as it activates in the oven for the last 15.
Okay, so you're basically asking for more of Amadeus's secret ingredient for this round, right?
I think it'll rise to the occasion.
Oh my God. Okay, so yeah,
She
so
terrifies me. She intrigues me. She terrifies me.
so we are amplifying Amadeus's secret ingredient. He helps out by getting you just absolutely too much nutritional yeast.
Well, not too much.
no,
you
not
can
too
you can
much,
use it
just
as you
enough.
see fit, but you just have a whole bunch of the stuff now.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much.
He just kind of bows to you and goes back to the judging table.
I am mentally present, but I know now that it is time for Norbert to describe his garlic and binge water cocktail.
It is.
So here I go.
It is time for Norbert.
Norbert looks over to a camera as he approaches the stand to mix up a cocktail, and he kind of whispers an aside and says, "I have a confession to make. I have actually never prepared a cocktail before. In fact, this is a word I had heard the crew say on the way in that another team had done previously. So let's see how this goes."
Okay.
He goes up and takes one of the glasses of his bilge water, makes a big show of swirling it around, brings it up to his nose, sniffs, sips, sets it back down on the table, goes over to the dish, leans forward almost like he's trying to get a sense of the palate, wafts it into his nostrils. What would pair? What would pair? And he has a savant moment and just runs into the pantry and grabs a whole armload of different liqueurs and ingredients and comes back, slams them down. And as you're looking over, there are just a mess of inappropriate ingredients, along with some that would work, including like creme de menthe and, a star anise and other like licorice style flavors. And he's kind of almost by feel reaching out and running his fingers over the tops of the bottles and plucking one out at a time, and dashing it into the bilge water. And then he reaches down, grabs a cranberry off the plate, rims the glass with it, drops it into the mixture, and then looks over once more between the glass of bilge water cocktail and the plate, and in a moment for Norbert that is a pure stroke of genius, runs the palm of his paw across the top of the chicken, holds it over the glass, and sprinkles a bit in, and says, "Oh, c'est parfait, magnifique."
Okay. So, since you have had no experience making a cocktail before,
Mhm.
I'm gonna give you 1d6 for this roll specifically.
Perfect.
Would anybody else like to help Norbert out?
You know, I
I
spent
will.
great.
Thank you, Bree.
Bree
Oh
jumps
yes,
to
of
the
course, the
occasion.
family chef.
All right.
That's-
I don't see why
I'm
not.
sure she made plenty of cocktails for her siblings. her
Yeah, you
26
know.
siblings.
Oh no, for the parents.
Okay.
Mm.
26
Yeah.
kids, I can see that.
Honey, please go make this drink that mommy likes.
Please help me forget
the
about
third
the
in
fact that I
line,
have
so-
27
That
children.
coincidentally was bilge water, right?
Well, at least the
Yeah.
alcohol should help kill all the germs.
Also, all of us.
All right, so you're gonna be sous chefing for Norbert. Can I have you give me a d6 roll, please?
Oh, you cut off a D6.
Yes,
Yeah.
1d6.
Oh,
Need
okay.
to roll a 4 or above for success.
Oh, I got a 3.
Oh, well, you have
That
prepared
feels right. That feels
alcohol
right.
for your family before, but you know, usually when you prepare alcohol, it's in a can
Yes.
of some sort. So you're
It
just
says bud on it.
it usually says Bud or Miller or something to that effect. Yeah,
Yeah, some guy.
some dude. So
guy
you're
named
just kind of
Bud.
looking over and looking at the cocktails, like, yeah, you're like, yeah, that smells like alcohol for sure.
Good lord.
Are we ready to go?
Oh, best I'll ever be.
Unless anyone else wants to help out, let's do a 1d6.
I'd be delighted to help. You know, there was a time when I was much younger, only a year and a half old. I must have spent a whole 3 weeks. Oh no, that's a 2.
Oh no, that's Granny. You don't drink very often, I don't think.
Oh my, no, I'm a teetotaler. Ever since the accident.
Which one?
So many.
You know, we shared the brain cell melody.
Oh no. All right, so we're still sitting at 1d6. Give it a
I think-
roll.
I think that's God at this point. I know that
Right.
like my competitive nature is like I should try and help, but also my comedic nature is like
Too
no,
many cooks, I think.
too many
chefs in the
cooks.
kitchen.
When is more appropriate,
Right,
honestly.
you-
It's been
have-
decided. The
You
drink
have
has
to
to
let Norbert
be
cook.
like this. Let
Mhm.
him cook.
Ready?
Let him cook.
Oh, should I declare? I'm going to leave this up to you, Jenny, because I have rolled.
Uh-huh.
Should this be a homemade, given he has no experience, or should it be gourmet, given the concoction that he's put together?
Well, based on how you described it, you're basically just eyeballing ingredients and throwing in what you feel is correct, right?
Right.
I'd say that's homemade.
I'm gonna okay because I rolled a 6, so that would be a success for us.
at that.
Hey!
It fucking works.
Somehow, despite
about
all of your
moment.
fumblings,
About
you
moment.
lift the glass to your lips to give it a sip, and it's actually really good. Like that's a damn good cocktail somehow.
So this is chicken. Oh, I quite enjoy.
Why, that's a Harvey Smallbanger. I haven't had one of those in ages.
Can I
Wow.
try? Am I old enough?
I
You
don't
must
know
be
what
at
the
least
legal
6
drinking
months.
age for mice is.
I don't know.
We-
I'm 1.
We don't live very long. One feels adult.
Can I try?
Have to Google how.
By all means. And Norbert hands the glass over.
I feel like I should roll.
Mice mature around 3 to 6 months,
Oh,
Jenny,
she's
just in
fine.
case you were wondering.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Do I roll something?
She
just try
rolls
it.
up.
Rolls
See
drink.
what you
Sure.
make it through
We all
this.
need to determine the
Tell you
drink is
what,
good,
give
right?
me a
Like the
homemade
roll-
roll for this one. Why
This
not?
is a question of taste now.
Ooh, I got a 6.
What the fuck?
This is the best goddamn cocktail ever made.
That's
Somehow.
let go, let God. The drink had to suck, but it's
And
gonna
yet
be good.
somehow.
This is exactly what it's like to just come up with your own cocktails at home, just for the record. Like, I don't know what this is, I don't know what this does, I don't know if this goes together, but I am liking it.
Triple sec sounds funny. I'm gonna put it in everything. Wow, this is actually damn good.
You can put mint in everything.
Jesus. So yeah, like, usually you do like beer and whiskey and stuff, but this is like actually really good.
It's a bilge water. I swear by it.
It's a little, but in a good way?
In a good way.
It's a good burn. You put
Yeah.
additional hair on your chest.
Oh,
Oh, there's already plenty of that.
Yeah, that's we're
Just-
nice.
Just kind of like pulls the collar down on your shirt, just like poof.
This is Burt Reynolds mode right now.
All right, so we have passed the cooking round, so now we are at the presentation stage of things here. So how are we doing this? We electing a head mouse chef, or are we doing this all together?
I nominate myself.
I
Well, all right
nominate
then.
Granny too.
Well, then fuck me. Yeah, go ahead, Granny.
I
Grant,
don't
you get
think
to
we
talk
have
enough.
time for that, dear. We're on a clock now for a cooking show. It's
You
a
should.
cooking show.
That was my concern of nominating you, but please go ahead.
Well, we were given what was the alliterative? It's so delightful, Almond. It's an MM something.
The
Mousy
mousy
mishap?
mishap.
The mousy mishap was a full chicken. I've never seen a whole chicken arrive mid cooking challenge before, but what do I know? So what we've done with everybody's teamwork and cooperation.
And she just mutters under her breath, like,
Even though I think soup would have been a perfectly fine entree, what we've done is make an absolutely sumptuous combination of both savory and sweet, with a perfectly roasted chicken that's been glazed with Bree's wonderful cranberry glaze. It's also been partook of the stuffing in the bird that's been infiltrated, but safely.
she winks, but you can't see it because the lenses of the glasses are far too thick. But she makes one of these faces, like,
Oh, she's just
and like just the presumption that you have seen the wink.
she's
And of
just
course,
so
you can wash
charming.
it down with one of Chef
Norbert?
Norbert's wonderful drinks. Did you know he was a mixologist? I didn't know he was a mixologist, but he's made completely by accident an utterly delicious Harvey's Small Banger, which is the cocktail that we served at my 14th wedding rehearsal dinner. It was rehearsal dinner. That's where the fire started.
The information came to Casey and it made them laugh. I've been there.
Anyway, bon appetit.
She just walks off.
I adore Granny so much.
Top shelf stuff, man. It's great.
Alrighty, so
just
same
love
as last
black
time, we're
comedy.
gonna go ahead and do a homemade round for Almond and a gourmet round for Chef Maisumoto to see how you did.
Shout out to
Do
you
I
East
need to
Coasters
roll
up
for
there who were
presentation or anything?
yeah.
Hmm?
Do they?
Oh,
Do I need to roll for presentation?
great question. No. This
Oh,
is
goody.
this is my roll time. This is me to decide your fate.
Step off.
We're all rooting for you.
So that is, I'm gonna be honest with you, 2 successes. So they both love it. So the appetizer round may have been a little bit shaky, but they've been really kind of enjoying your teamwork, how you guys were helping each other out this round. The dish came out beautifully. They both surprisingly love the cocktail. Like they're enjoying that like crazy here. Like no notes. This is a perfectly done rotisserie chicken. I love the glaze. A+ stuff all around, I'm saying.
I have to ask, when we say rotisserie chicken, is this thing just towering over?
I was wondering.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
it-
an entire chicken would take us all
Yeah.
several hours to.
In my mind, as I was seeing it, they brought out like a single chicken wing for you
Gotcha,
guys to work with.
gotcha.
Yeah, I
That-
didn't
that
think about it till like when Casey
Tiny,
was
tiny
describing it,
chicken.
and then I was like, "Is this like a whole ass like bird we would all be able to crawl into?"
All right, so
If we
they
used Cornish game hen, they'd be about the size of a VW bug.
We're working with chickadees.
really. All right, so they kind of converse amongst themselves for a moment, and they stand back up. It's like, all right, chefs, we have prepared our presentation for you here. And as far as the scoring for round 2, that is an 8 out of 10.
Ooh.
We're 1 point shy, you motherfucker.
You're 1 point shy, so we are going into the dessert round with the expectation that you need to serve something, but it has to be a soup, or else you will
Dessert
fail the
soup?
competition.
We only need 1 point.
Need 1
We
point.
could bomb this, and if it's at least a little good, we.
All right, so same format. We're going to go ahead and start in our prep phase here using the initiative that we had for last round. So, Bree, how are you prepping yourself for dessert?
Well, I'm feeling a lot better with that 8 out of 10. And I'm feeling confident because it's a dessert and cranberries are sweet.
Very sweet.
So I am gonna just stew the cranberries. Yeah, gonna stew the cranberries, and then we're gonna little bit of sugar, just a little.
Just a little.
Maybe a little bit of, well, no, that wouldn't work. Syrup? Just a dash of syrup and some grenadine.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Unironically sounds kind of good, actually.
Yeah, I did that.
I'd just eat a bowl of that, honestly.
Well,
I think that'll go really, really well in a dessert soup.
Okay, so you're prepping up your cranberries. You've got so much experience. Give me that 2d6 roll of your choice, either homemade or gourmet.
Made.
oh, she gourmeting over there.
Wait, gourmet? I said homemade.
Oh, I did not hear it correctly. I heard the May and then nothing else.
Oh, okay, yeah, homemade, but unfortunately I rolled a 2 and a 1. and
You
my
sure
number
you don't want to change it to
3.
gourmet?
I mean, My audio's being weird. I think I said gourmet,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I'll
gourmet.
buy that. You
No,
know what?
I
Fuck it.
blacked out. I blacked out.
You had a
Sure.
technical difficulty.
A dessert soup sounds very gourmet to me, child.
Yeah.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I'll throw you a bone here. We'll say it was a gourmet action. So that's 2 successes under your number.
Yay!
We love bullying, Jenny.
It's Grant's favorite activity.
Been
Aw.
doing it for 29 years.
And counting.
What a jerk.
That's okay.
I'm sticking
we're,
up for you, Jenny.
We're siblings. It's fine.
I know.
All right.
You heard it here first, folks. Bully your sibling.
That will hold up in court, I believe.
Yeah.
All right, Amadeus, rock me Amadeus.
Yeah, I'm listening to that song right now.
Are you?
No.
fun.
Yeah, I propose the gourmet soup. I see Bree getting in the spirit of it. So I am in the process of liquefying the nutritional yeast. Shut up! I don't care if you can do that or not.
It's a powder.
I'm trying to, give a hint of this. I'm wanting the nutritional yeast to serve as just to make the soup not too sweet. So we're gonna put like a dash of this bad boy in there, and to do that, I gotta make it liquid.
All right, so you're prepping your yeast to be in liquid form. That seems like a gourmet action you've got experience with. Go ahead and give me that 2d6.
Acha! Ooh, 2 and a
2 and a 6, you said?
I did. I failed
Okay.
one somehow.
Somehow. Yeah. Well,
Against all odds.
no.
I think you're just kind of getting lost in the weeds here. You're kind of focusing a little bit more on what everyone else is doing and not really focusing on your own work. But you're still
I must ascend
successful
to
in
central.
liquefying your yeast.
Okay. This isn't as liquidy as I'd like it, but we are on the clock.
All right, Granny, what do you got? How are you prepping your sausage for a dessert soup?
I have a question. Is the secret ingredient that I've brought today the only ingredient I have to play with in this next section?
It is not. You do still have access to the pantry of the actual
Oh,
kitchen
good.
itself. You just
That's
wouldn't have
delightful.
experience with that ingredient specifically.
Well, not many people have had much experience with this ingredient, Almond, because, and she leans down behind the counter and brings up, when the chicken went into the oven and we determined that our soup was going to be it was going to be for dessert, I got this out of the freezer. And there's just, so I thought this small tub of melted vanilla ice cream would make a nice medium for the vichyssoise we're not making, because soup can be cold. And if I just scrunch up my sausage into tiny little gristly bits, it'll float around on top of the soup with the raspberries, and it'll be just so darn scrumptious.
Cranberries?
And cranberries, oh my, yes.
And
Across the
cranberries.
kitchen.
Okay, so you're electing to sub out your secret ingredient for melted vanilla ice cream. Is that my understanding? And just
No,
putting a
it's
little bit on
using
top.
both of them.
Doing
No,
both.
the sausage would be a garnish on top of the
A
melted
crumble.
ice cream soup.
A
Exactly,
crumble.
a crumble.
Yes,
We've
it'll
made
be
a
a
dessert
savory
gazpacho.
crumble.
Just a little savory crumble on top. Okay.
Savory crumble does sound all gourmet, doesn't it?
A little bit, little gourmet. So since you're working with something you don't have a whole ton of experience in, I'll have you give me a 1d6 gourmet roll for this.
Okay, okie dokie. Let's just put it in the tower. Oh, that's a 1.
Which is still under your number, so it's working out for you. You're prepping up that ice cream. It works well with the sausage. The savory and the sweet go together really well.
That's just delightful. I think.
Oh,
The
that's
camera
not bad.
cuts away from her as she starts waxing rhapsodic about yet another dead mouse.
The 80th mouse we've talked about today that has somehow
Oh,
been
yeah,
and
right.
left her life.
Poor lactose intolerant Tony.
That's his full name, lactose intolerant Tony.
He just couldn't take his curds.
All right, Norbert, how are you prepping your bilge water or other things for the dessert soup here?
Sure. So Norbert looks over at the other ingredients being prepared: the stewed cranberries, the liquefied yeast, the ice cream, melted ice cream, and andouille sausage crumble, and you see his eyes glaze over, and almost like he is possessed by something. He decides in a stroke that his bilgewater will not indeed be the base of the soup. We will use the melted ice cream from Granny, and instead Norbert runs up to the judge's table with Chef Misamoto and says, "Chef, with your permission, I would ask if you could loan me some xanthan gum, some immersion blender, a hint of pure raw cane sugar. I endeavor to make a foam, and I would ask your guidance."
Okay, well, everything is certainly in the kitchen for you to get all of those ingredients that you need. Let's see if you can
Merci,
invoke
chef.
the knowledge of Chef Maisumoto for this one.
He runs off, gathers the xanthan gum, gathers his immersion blender, lays out everything on the table, begins whipping up the foam, the bilgewater and sugar foam, to garnish the soup, and that is 2 failures.
Oh,
Oh, thank God.
5 and
I
a 6.
was like so invested, and I was like, my man.
5 and a 6.
5 and a 6. No.
The only moment that Norbert may have proved to be a competent chef.
He was growing. He was changing.
He was a
had
man
a whole
possessed,
arc.
and now it's
Damn
all
you,
God.
dice gods.
I'm proud of you, Monsieur Norbert.
Would
Uh,
anybody like to help sous chef during this preparation?
Absolutely. Everyone.
Everyone volunteers simultaneously. Everyone.
6.
Oh my God. All right. Anyone else?
We're gonna give Josh all the fucking dice.
Please.
That's a 6.
Oh my God.
Oh.
I got 2.
Okay.
We'll
Well,
take
2
it.
out of 3 ain't bad. Okay. Give me
2
2
more.
more D6.
That is 2 4s.
But your number is a
joke.
4, right?
That is 2 4s.
Let's
and
go.
I'm a 4.
I love this game.
Ew.
My
love this
Jesus
game.
fucking
This is the best.
This is the swingiest set of dice I think I've ever rolled.
So you doubly can invoke the knowledge of Chef Maisumoto. So really,
Doubly.
he's
So Norbert starts to try to whip up this foam, and you can see it begin to peak before it just flattens into a mess of bilgewater. And he looks flustered and starts moving dishes around and says, "Oh no, not enough sugar, more bilgewater," and starts mixing it up before Chef Maisumoto approaches.
just kind of
Lays
runs
a hand on
over
his
like,
shoulder.
like he is like so fucking like, okay, this is failing. I really want this guy to. I know what he's trying to do. So without like directly interfering with your dish, he's like pointing out the ingredients and like the exact ratio that you need to get this in here. Is there anything
should-
specific you want to ask him during
we
your 2 invokes of knowledge?
Chef, first, is this a good idea? I really, really want to impress these mice. Is this foam a good idea?
He does nod. He's like, yes, the foam would be a good idea as far as a topping or garnishment for the soup that they're going for here. What could also possibly help is like a meringue out of the ingredients that you have here.
Chef, thank you. Merci from deep inside my cœur. My second
Throw it on me.
question,
Second question.
what is a meringue?
Oh my God, you're gonna kill me.
That knocked me out.
Uh,
Josh is cooking at 12:30 in the morning right now.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
It's just full octane. Oh, I love this.
Oh
Magnificent.
man. So he shows you kind of how to make a meringue and how to get your ingredients up to stiff peaks here for for getting that all made, of course, and then shows you exactly how well it would be incorporated into the dish.
Oh, merci. Perhaps, this night is yet salvageable, much like the boat which crashed and brought me here.
Oh my gosh. All right, we're going to do a rapid fire cooking round here. So, everyone give me a d6. Highest number goes first.
Oh yeah, we're still cooking.
Yeah, this is still
That's
the
a-
prep phase. We haven't gotten to the cook phase yet.
That's 6
I
for
once
Norbert.
again got a 1.
So,
Oh,
6 for
dearie
Norbert,
dear.
1 for
Yeah.
Granny.
5.
3 for Amadeus.
German 3 for Amadeus.
A German 3 for Amadeus. I
German
see you've
3.
also seen Inglorious Best.
Of course.
I took a semester of German in college. Eins, zwei,
Damn.
drei, vier, fünf.
I like it better.
Same.
It feels more organic. This feels like I'm hurting myself somehow. I don't know why.
I go very unconventional and the 3 at the end.
Oh yeah, the AOK symbol.
Sure.
All right, so Norbert, you've had a lot of help from Chef Masumoto here. So just go ahead and state how your ingredient is going to be. Oh wait, we totally forgot the mousy mishap here at the beginning of our
Oh,
cook
right, the
round.
thing that's gonna fuck over our whole plan, I'm sure.
So of course, Almond Brown
The
Mouse
paladin.
comes up to the
Peasant
forward
or
of the
some
stage
shit.
here, and he lifts the cloche, and there's a little bowl of peanuts.
Let's go. Not that bad.
So your dessert must include peanuts as well, in some shape or form.
Mr. Misamoto, you're not allergic to peanuts, are you?
No, neither of them are. We'll be fine.
Oh, good. The last thing you'd want to see is a mouse with a nut allergy. They just puff right up and don't stop.
Lord.
That's what happened to my Douglas. That Douglas? Or there were a lot of Douglases. It was a popular name 2 years ago.
I turned to Bree. Why would they give us an ingredient that could kill them?
Oh. Seems interesting.
I don't think she thinks. I think she just reacts.
Yes.
As we all can, as we all do. Sometimes life is just a series of reactions, and then we die.
I
Damn.
was not expecting this to get so philosophical. but
Almond
here we
gets
are.
it.
We're all up past our bedtimes right now. We're talking
We're a
about
little
death.
sleepy.
It'll
go.
be all right.
All right, so Norbert, with this information in mind, how is your ingredient pairing well with the peanuts?
With peanuts specifically, the slight bitterness and nuttiness of the flavor is going to be well balanced with the light and airy foam. And as Norbert begins whipping it up, he's I know next to nothing about this ingredient, save for the one time that one was discarded on the floor near where I stayed underneath the box. However, I do know that this foam is the opposite of a peanut, I am fairly certain, and opposites can be great for compliments. And he is diligently whipping up the meringue that he was instructed to by Matsumoto, yet still referring to it as a foam because, I mean, let's be honest, they look the same.
To be fair.
To be fair.
Mm.
All right, and as a reminder, the cooking round we do with all the rolls at the end. So Bree, how are you preparing your cranberries for our soup?
I am still stewing those cranberries. I really think that they will go well with the meringue, but I am also not very familiar with meringues as well. So I really think that it will the peanuts and the cranberries would go well together. Because the peanuts are crunchy and the cranberries are not.
I love Bree.
This truly is a dish of opposites.
I love watching everyone's process of rationalizing. It's so fun.
There is none. There is none.
no
It is brain
rationality.
off, talk in character, see what happened.
Yeah.
Pray to God.
Oh my, yes.
All right, so um, Amadeus, you're up next. You have to state how your ingredient pairs with, work with, or otherwise melds with the previous ingredients that have already been added.
Yes. Well, Amadeus is observing the cranberry, the meringue, cream, and also considering that I was going to give it savoriness of the nutritional yeast, and the thought occurs to me that we have cranberry essentially being turned into a jelly. We have the uh, ice cream giving us a good vanilla base, plain flavor there, and we have a delicious foam being added to it. So I think why not incorporate peanuts into what I'm making to essentially make a peanut butter and jelly soup.
That
So
sounds really
I'm
fun.
mushing up peanuts into the nutritional yeast, knowing that that flavor will what I'm making. If I'm wrong, shut up. This is improv, and that's what I am doing.
We don't need to know how gastronomy works. We're just a
This
bunch
is a
of dudes.
mouse game, and if you're a chef out there watching me say this, and you're like, "That's wrong," fuck.
Oh no, gastronomy's not here tonight. He has another appointment.
Alrighty,
Ciao,
and Granny.
Jenny.
Go-
Jenny.
Yes?
Oh, never mind. I'm not rolling yet. Never mind. Shut up. Grant,
Hang
shut up.
on. Hang on. Hold the horse.
Holding. To hold.
Well, Almond, Chef Misamoto, it has been such an absolute privilege. But having seen that the chefs have prepared such a lovely meringue and the wonderful work that they do with those cranberries, that was so nice, Brie. And the Amadeus is doing wonderful work with his peanut butter and jelly ice cream soup. And well, I'm just happy
Tap
to
my
be
cap.
along for the ride and to finish off with a nice little savory garnish that'll just go sprinkle around on top because you know what a good dessert wants for texture.
We have certainly
And
no
utterly
lack of
convinced that
texture.
that one word has sold their bit. She just
I'm sold. I actually kind of want to try this actual soup in real life.
I did it.
Bilge water and all.
Bilge water and all.
With the fur.
boots with
A
the
creme
fur.
fraiche bilge water.
That's right.
Alrighty,
And don't you
everybody.
forget it.
So you've all started cooking here. Go ahead and everybody give me a 2d6 and say if it's gourmet or homemade, please.
I'm taking a
I would-
picture. Hold on.
2 and a 4 here.
Nice.
I'm taking a picture for dramatic effect because no one will believe me otherwise.
And of course, Josh, since you did roll a 4, that is, again, you may invoke the knowledge of Chef Maisumoto if you so choose.
Spectacular.
Spectacular.
Amadeus rolled 2 5s.
Oh my fuck.
There we go. Twice in a row now.
Is that a good thing?
His
That's
number
my
is
number,
5.
home slice.
So he could
Hi.
also.
I rolled my number 2. Well, my number, the 3, and a 6.
He smashed us around.
The professional knowledge of Maisumoto just washing over the entire kitchen.
We're gonna get 1,000 points.
inspirational.
God.
Just inspirational.
Yeah, he's gonna have to like it because he practically cooked it at this point, right?
Pretty
It's
much.
meringue.
Okay. So I was cooking the gourmet style because this is a dessert soup.
And I rolled a 1 and a 6.
Okay. Good
It's a
enough.
success.
It's still a success. It's good enough. All right, so I guess we'll go through initiatives here of who invoked the successes of Mr. Maisumoto. Norbert, any other questions you want to ask?
Norbert wants to offer Chef Misamoto a taste. And then as he tastes it, he wants to ask him expectantly, is this meringue? I have done it correctly?
Yes, you've successfully made meringue with following Chef Maisumoto's instructions. He just
Merci,
gives-
chef.
just gives you one last tip of just kind of how to all finish it off and bring it all together there, and then he walks over to Amadeus' station.
I believe Bree is actually next, so she also rolled her number.
Correct. I'm so sorry. Bree would be next.
You can go first. It's fine.
Go for it, Bree. You're
I'm
next in
trying to be
initiative. You're
chivalrous.
faster.
You're fast. Okay.
Uh,
Right.
I guess my question would be, um, do you like cranberry juice?
Cranberry juice was nice. It would most likely turn the vanilla base into a more cranberry flavor. So I think that would work really well with the peanut flavor.
Like a sauce drizzle?
Yeah,
Yes. Okay.
a sauce drizzle would work perfectly, I think.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
And then just going over to Amadeus' station next.
What do I even possibly ask at this point? I guess the first thing Amadeus like, now I don't often admit weakness.
Mm.
However, plating is not my specialty. Can you guide me on how to sufficiently arrange this dessert soup?
Sure. So he kind of walks you through the steps, of course, getting the soup ladled into the bowl properly here with the information in mind that we have like a cranberry drizzle going on here. He would show you like, no, this would be a good spot to kind of like rim it around the bowl here and how to like make it look nice and presentable on top of the soup as well. He is just so very professional about this. It is a damn good looking soup by the time you two are done.
I am happy and I am seething. Uh, for his second question, yeah, now listen, I understand this is a competition where there's points and presentation plays an important role in that. Which one of us do you like the best? Just who should be talking to you in the final? Just tell me. Who's most pleasant for you to hear things from?
That's a little unfair.
I rolled a second 5 and I will get my answer.
That's you know what?
You don't have to answer it.
Well, of the folks who have already presented here, it would really be between either you, Amadeus, or Bree for the presentation, I would say.
All right then. I will consider that and return to my fellow chefs, he says boldly and a little too loud so that everyone hears him.
And then he just goes back to his little, he's going to his little judgment table, and you all present your meal to Almond Brown Mouse and Chef Maisumoto. Who would be doing the head chefing, or are you all going to be presenting the dessert?
Bree, I believe it should be you.
Hi. Okay.
Quite frankly, I'm kind of an asshole, and these two already went.
Okay. Well, we have a soup. We have a vanilla-based soup with cranberry. Forgot my own ingredient. With cranberry, with a cranberry sauce, drizzle on top, and a meringue, as well. With we've got peanuts and sausage. No, did we do this sausage?
It's a garnish.
It's yes.
The garnish, yeah.
Fantastic.
You can see it's floating. You can see it in there. And we've got the peanuts in there, of course, as well.
All right. I'm over the moon, y'all.
Hers up. Hers up.
Okay. So, Almond Brown goes ahead and tastes the soup, and just immediately, you know that one scene in Ratatouille where like the stuck up chef just like kind of goes into his own little world for a minute.
does
You
this
kind
happen
of like
place.
see that 1,000-yard stare on Almond for a
You
moment.
nostalgia their ass.
Yeah. And he just like starts digging into the soup. This is bringing back some memories of when he was just a wee itty bitty 2-month-old mouse when his mom would make him like little peanut butter and jelly soups for his little home, because that's what you had when you're just 2 little mice.
A liquid sandwich.
A little liquid sandwich, because it was the mice depression. Times were tough.
All those months ago.
All those months ago. So he's just trying to keep it together, but he's having a little bit of difficulty expressing just how happy this is making him. Maisumoto is a little less thrilled. He still likes it. It still turned out well. He likes the flavors. He's kind of like going, well, this is a good, nice note. The cranberry jelly is a good note with the peanut butter. And the you can kind of taste the yeast a little bit. It's a little off-putting with the yeast flavor, but everything else comes together really well.
Fuck you, Mousemoto.
Shut up. You're on my show.
That's a good way
Is it
not to get
nice?
invited back.
Yeah.
As long as I win.
All right, so they're going back, and they're kind of tallying up their judgment here. And of course, in true TV show fashion, we have to make it as dramatic of a reveal as possible.
I'm just like looking around, knowing this is happening. Like, we 1 point, and one of them loved it. What's all the pomp and circumstance?
We got a score.
Mouse Chefs, today you have prepared for us an eggplant boat, a stuffed chicken with sausage, and a peanut butter cranberry jelly dessert soup. The scores are in. We have tallied up round 3, and you have earned 9 out of 10 points for round 3, bringing you up to a grand total of 23 points. Congratulations, chefs. You have succeeded in your goal to win Mouse Chef, and each will be getting a prize, of course, with an unlimited supply of cheese for each of you.
My favorite cheese. We're all named after them.
I grew up in Westminster.
I mean,
And
what
that
other
is
prize
all
can you
things.
expect for a whole bunch of mice besides cheese?
It's our currency and our food.
Folks, this has been 16 Mice Make Soup, a slice of a hack of lasers and feelings made by Rosie Love. Of course, we can go ahead and get all that information posted for you in the Game Master Monday Discord, of where you can find and download all of this information. So be sure to join the Discord for updates on our show as well. Grant, all yours. I'll have you take the outro from here.
Let's all give it up to our Game Master Jenny, shall we? What a hoot and a half that was. 16 Mice Make Soup. That's by Rosie Law on socials and our Discord. Go buy it. It's delightful. I mean, look, Norbert almost cried. It was amazing. Thank you to our special guests here for this episode. This was I had a blast of a time here. Casey, where can we find more?
Well, if you enjoyed today, you can hear more wacky character voices, including this one. That was actually the reason I selected this voice for today's game, because I had recently finished
Recording a multi-part episode with this doddering old voice.
Our show is called Anywhere But Now, a Doctor Who actual play podcast. And when we're not mixing wonderful music from tabletop audio and into our shows, we're also hosting an interview series called The Joy of GMing with lovely GMs like yourselves about the joys of GMing. And you can find us on Blue Sky and Twitter with details in the doobly-doo.
Hell yeah. Josh, where can we find more of you?
Sure, you can find more about Die Inside in the show that we will be putting out this October called What's in the Rift at dieinside.com. We encourage you to follow us on the socials so that you can be kept up to date with our release date and all information pertaining to the show. We do run a Cortex Prime system, so if you're looking for a podcast that is not D&D, which I would suspect that listeners to this would, you can find a very professionally produced and actually cast fully like an audio drama actual play.
And if I may just throw my own little side hypes here for you. Both of Casey's shows are incredible to listen to. Casey's one of the best GMs in the biz, baby. You like funny voices, you like really well thought out Doctor Who. Check out Casey's show. Josh, I'm crazy excited about anything Josh puts his fingers on. Super talented writer, super talented GM. You're gonna love what he's got cooking. Melody, I know you said you don't have a show tonight, but how was your first Game Master Monday experience?
Oh, it's fun. definitely nerve-wracking, but fun.
Welcome to the Madhouse. We hope you enjoyed Melody's performance because, I don't know, you might be seeing more of her around in the near future. Who's
That's
to
what I'm
say?
hoping.
Who's to say? Jenny, of course, GM for today. I'm Grant. We run Game Master Monday. If you've never heard, hi. We do a different one shot every 2 weeks on a podcast called Game Master Monday. We always have a different cast, different system with a different setting every single episode. Are we insane? You betcha. What do we got coming up in the woodwork? We got our September slots coming up, and then we might have a mini series coming out around November. Spooky games coming out. And Jenny, as I finish this sentence, can you just dramatically cut the feed? But I believe we also might have something extraterrestrial coming, perhaps a comet hitting Earth soon. So that might have some more information coming out in 5 days, give or take, maybe 2. Who knows? I don't remember actually. Announcement coming soon. Jenny, cut me.
Okay, get out of here.
Bye, everybody.